another Monday word and prayer. Today we'll come from 2nd Chronicles chapter 20, verses 17. You do not have to fight this battle. Position yourselves, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord. He is with you. Judah and Israel, do not be afraid or discouraged. Tomorrow go out to face them, for the Lord is with you. So in this particular text, it is talking about a war that is trying to take place. And God is telling Judah and Jerusalem to not be in fear, to not necessarily back down, but to stand still and let him fight for them. I was reminded in the text of just some thoughts or some battles that I've had to look dead in the face and had to determine what my next move was going to be. One particular case or one particular battle that I remember is that I didn't ask for this battle. Don't know where the battle came from. Couldn't tell you what made the disagreement occur. But all I knew was that I didn't want to fight. I didn't ask for it. Before I could even really truly even think to try to engage in a battle, I was already tired. I was mentally exhausted. One, had never been in this position before, but then I had another war and had to do it all over again. And I really was struggling with, God, what do I do when I am faced with a battle? Some of these battles in our lives could be battles on our jobs. Some of these battles could be battles with relationships. Some of these battles just could be with our finances. You just have to determine, God, what are some battles in my life that you are allowing to rage war against me? And what do you want me to do about it? There's some times that God has called us to stand tall, be bold, and to march forward. But then there's other times in our lives where God has called us to be still, to still stand firm, but to be still and let him work it. I remember one specific battle that I was dealing with. I really, honestly, was overwhelmed by it. So much so that I felt hopeless, I felt defeated, and honestly, I hadn't even thrown a lick, or it wasn't a physical battle, it was more of a spiritual battle, but I hadn't even thrown any kind of weapon of any kind to try to deter or destroy the tactic of the enemy at the time. But what I did understand was I'm trying to fix my words, my thoughts, my actions to combat what was being thrown at me. That was so hard to stand back and be like, nope, you can't do that. Well, in one particular case, I actually did try to start fighting back. I tried to start talking on my own. I tried to start expressing myself the way that I thought was necessary to defend my case. And the more that I talked, the worse it got. The more that I explained, the worse it got. The more that I tried to intervene, tried to make peace, trying to wave the white flag, like, come on, things are going to be fine, the worse it got. Why? Because God was trying to teach me a lesson about how to not try to fight a battle, not this battle, the way that I thought the battle should be fought. It was when I stopped fighting, when I stopped trying to find an answer, a solution, a way, or support from the world, from the people around me, when I stopped trying to validate my position and I just put it in his hands, that's when I saw him in my own life, where I was able to witness and understand where he's began to fight for me. And I just love that in the text. It says, you do not have to fight this battle. Just put yourself in a position. And in the position that I had to put myself in was prayer. Number one, I had to put myself in a position of prayer. I had to put myself in a position of obedience. I had to put myself in a place of humbleness, because if I was not humble enough to hear the instructions that God had to give me, there was nothing positive coming from what this battle was trying to bring into my life. Nothing positive. Honestly, it kept getting worse because I tried to intervene. And I realized that all God was trying to get me to do was to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. See his saving grace. See him transform the situation. It might not even have turned out the way that I had wanted it to, but he brought something. He saved me from something that I had been running from, that I didn't even realize I was running from. But it was because that I put myself in a position of prayer, humbleness, and obedience, right? It says, do not be afraid or discouraged. Why would he say, do not be afraid or discouraged? Probably because they were afraid and discouraged. I was afraid and discouraged. I was afraid of what might happen if I don't speak up for myself. What would be said if I don't try to defend myself? And I also was discouraged because things that I thought people would understand didn't. They didn't understand. They turned and twisted the words, the thoughts that I had, into something that it wasn't. Not because they had a heart for me or that they didn't have a heart for me. It was that the enemy had enough room to work in the situation when all God asked me to do was stand still and be quiet, but I didn't know how to do it. I was always willing to say, well, listen, I done been quiet in my life enough that I don't have to be quiet anymore. I can stand my ground. I'm a big girl. I can do and say what I need to say because I have the ability to have a voice. But you can have a voice. But what is that voice bringing you? What is it bringing you when God is telling you to be quiet, to stand still, stand back, pipe down, just chill? You got to understand, we all, not just you, but me too, still have to navigate and understand the importance of letting God fight battles for us. Some of these battles that we didn't ask for. What is God trying to get out of you this week? What is he trying to get out of you next year? What is he trying to get out of you already? He's already put you in a battle. He's already put you in a place where you have to determine, what am I going to do in this war? The question is, God, are you asking me to stand still? Or are you asking me to move? David, he had equipment. He was equipped for what he had to go into battle with when he went to fight Goliath, right? However, what about when he had to deal with Saul? That was a different kind of battle. That was a different kind of war. They're not the same thing. And so we have to ask God, equip me for whatever battle that you have me facing so that I know how to navigate this thing. I remember there was another situation where I had to battle this particular war with the word, like literally praying the prayers that were here in the Bible. I think it was some Psalms that I was praying because I'm like, God, I don't even know what to pray. But this right here is tough. I don't even know what you're trying to get out of me in this season. I want to be able to hear that you're pulling and making me better, but this right here is very hard. You know, when people throw words at you and they say and call you all kinds of names, that is tough. Nothing about that is easy. And you want me to stand still and be quiet? Come on. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But what if God called you to it? That's not you being someone that's passive. That's not saying that you're one that will just take anything from anybody. But that's saying, God, if you call me to be obedient and to stand still and be silent, not to cast stones, not to throw daggers, not to do any of these negative things in retaliation, because you said vengeance is yours, God, that's what I'm going to do. Why? because I would rather much be in peace in the midst of chaos than put myself in a mess in chaos. How do you recover from that? I like to call myself the chaos coordinator because I can be in a total chaotic situation, and all I have to do is just like put my mind on something, and I'm able to like start thinking about, okay, this can go here, this can go here, this is how I want this to look, this makes sense. Now I just got to make sure I work all the pieces out, right? If I can do that physically on my job, in my home, what makes me think that I can't be a chaos coordinator in my spiritual being, in what I think about and how I process things? Like, those are things that we have to move towards, is knowing that, God, you have the answer for my situation, but I have to ask you, what do you want me to do? I don't like the way this feels. I don't like the way this sounds. I'm not a fan of this whole situation at all. But God, I trust you because you are my salvation. You are my help. You are my shelter. You are my guide. And if I can stand still knowing that you got me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It says, tomorrow go out and face them, for the Lord's with you. He didn't say, don't go to the battlefield. Don't go and face your enemies. He didn't say that. He said, position yourself. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Don't run from the situation. Go stand solid in front of it. Go face it and watch me work. That's what he said. This week, I want you to really consider, God, what kind of battles am I up against that I didn't ask for, that I wasn't looking for, that I didn't put myself in, that you want me to stand still, to stand up face to face and deal with whatever this looks like and watch you work. When we see his work in play, when you look back over your life and think about the things that he has rescued you from, that he saved you from, that he has guided you through, can you really say that he can't fight for you? I mean, I've seen his hand work too many times. The evidence is the fact that I'm on the other side of it. But in many situations, I remember I was in high school. Just real quick. I remember I was in high school, there was this person that was like really bullying me. I had several, but this particular one was bullying me. I was probably in the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, somewhere in there. I think I was 7th grade. I'm talking about this person just kept bullying me on the bus. Like, I could not figure out why I was a target. I ain't mess with nobody. I ain't talk about nobody. I just a goofy kid that wanted friends. Boom. Well, I remember, and I don't even remember where I got the idea from. All I remember saying, I said, God, I don't know what to say, but I'm afraid that I'm going to get into a fight, not because I'm throwing blows, but that somebody going to throw a blow at me and I'm going to get beat up. Even though I don't feel like I would have got, I did not get in a fight when I was in high school or any school. I didn't get into fights when I was in grade school. That's just, it didn't happen. I couldn't tell you why, but I was very tough. I was known for hitting boys, and they didn't like it. They would get mad that I was hitting them, and I was just playing. They said I was too strong, so girls never tried to put their hands on me, okay? Almost got stabbed with a paperclip one time, but nobody ever tried to put their hands on me. So, but I was so nervous in 7th grade that somebody was going to try to start a fight with me, and I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get kicked out of the basketball team. It was just so many things. And I remember specifically praying, God, I don't know what to do, but I need you to stand up and take care of the situation for me. I don't know what else to pray. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to defend myself. I don't want to get in trouble, but this person keeps bothering me. God, you're going to have to remove this person from my space so that I don't get in trouble and that I am able to just go to school, learn, play basketball. Just please help me. I'm talking about not even 2 weeks later. This person stayed in trouble anyways, but like 2 weeks later, this person was removed from the school. Had nothing to do with me. Never went to a teacher, never went to the principal, none of these things. I just remember praying. That was the very first time where I saw that God was fighting for me because I prayed to him to ask him for guidance on how to deal with the situation. And my example, that's what I'm asking you to do. What is this situation that you're dealing with that you feel like it's too tough for you to handle alone? Bring God into it. Ask God, what do you want me to do? And if there's nothing you do, God, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm dealing with. Help me. Help me. God said, do not be afraid. Position yourself. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Don't be discouraged. Tomorrow, go out and face them. Go out and face them. For the Lord is with you. That's what I want you to take with you, that the Lord is with you. You get in your position, you stand in prayer, you be obedient, and you watch what God can do. You watch what he can do, because when he fights on our behalf, nothing can stand against us. We can stand against ourselves, but nothing can stand against God. Okay? When he speaks, things have to shift. And that's what I want you to understand today. And so let's pray. God, we just thank you for your love, your grace, your mercy, your peace, your patience, your kindness, goodness, your faithfulness. God, we just honor you for just being amazing in all things, even when it doesn't feel like it. The world itself is just mayhem at times, and so much disarray, so much disagreements. But God, you have called us to seek you first in all things, not just in the good things, but also in the bad things. God, we just seek you for guidance in whatever is waging war against us. Help us to understand what we need to do in these situations. God, if we're supposed to take a step forward, tell us to move. God, if we're supposed to stand still, help our knees to get strong. God, we just ask, even in the midst of the things that we're facing, that we will keep our head up, our chin up, and that we will look it in the eye and know that you are with us. God, where we have lacked our faith, where we have lacked wisdom, God, restore to us those areas by the renewing of our mind, by the scriptures that you have put before us. God, help us to see that your love is greater than anything and any weapon that tries to come and form against us. God, forgive us for where we have spoke out of turn, where we have done things out of retaliation, where we have tried to take vengeance on as our own versus allowing you to do the work that you have called, that you have said that you would do on our behalf and in your name. God, we just praise you for how you will transform our situations, even when we don't understand, even if we don't see it, even if it doesn't go the way that we thought it would be. But God, we help us to see on the other side of it the benefits of you working on our behalf. Thank you for your salvation. Thank you for your son, Jesus. Thank you for the hope and the renewed hope that we get to have each and every day that we wake up. Help us to think through these things as we go about our week, that we may encourage somebody else that may be dealing with a battle, that may be dealing with a war, that may need your light, may need your love, may need your peace in the midst of chaos. So God, we praise you and we honor you for what you will allow us to see in this week, that it may be a testimony to how we continue to walk out our faith and our soul salvation. We give you all the honor and all the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Love works when our words don't, so keep practicing.